Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. Hope you guys are having a great Thursday. My name is Jennifer. As always, I'll be your moderator for today's presentation. At the end, we will have time for some questions. You can enter them into the question box. Make sure you're specific about your question because it will be at the end of the presentation and we want to have as much information as possible so we can give you the best answer. Anything that we are not able to address during the webinar, we can answer offline, or you can email into support and we can get your questions answered for you. Our presenter today is Annabelle, one of our functional software specialists, and we will be discussing renew, rental, and rental checklist items. So this is going to be a great webinar. Without further ado, Annabelle, let's get started.
All right, thanks, Jennifer. So hello, everyone. So as what Jennifer has said, I'll be the presenter for today's webinar regarding renew rentals and rental checklist. So let's get started. And what are the things that we need to discuss in this webinar would be the basic setup and functions of renew rentals or recurring rental in System 5, which is available for those which have the rentals module. And the next is the basic setup of a rental state and checklist, and then how the rental state and checklist affects the rental units once it is enabled. So let's start with the renew rentals. So the renew rental report will only list invoices with a specific subtype. So this subtype must be specified in the setup wizard under rental settings rental. So the subtypes text box holds the subtype used for the renew rental report. So the same subtype as well must be set up in the invoice setup from the navigator menu. Select setup tools, printing options, and then invoice setup. So as per the screenshot below, this is actually from the rental settings, and I'll just show you guys later the other option where you need to set up the invoice subtype. And then other than that, we also need to check two options in the setup wizard invoice setup invoice options too. So there will be two options that we need to be enabled to use the renew rentals feature. So both the select a subtype on work orders and select a subtype on invoices options must be checked. The invoice subtype can now be assigned when creating or editing an invoice, and that can be seen as the image below. So this under invoice options too, and under 68 and 69. Once you enable those two, you'll then be able to add a subtype to a work order or an invoice if you'll be using accounts receivable when you renew. So once you're ready to renew the rental, to access the report, we just need to select rentals, renew rentals from the navigator menu, as shown as this figure right here, renew rentals. So I'll just show you guys with the basic setup. So we'll just go to the demo, and all right. So for the setup, so we'll go to the setup tools, setup wizard. And then once this is done loading, we'll go and click on the rentals. So just need to scroll down, click on rental settings and then rentals. And from here, we can set the renew rental subtype. So for me here, the subtype is R. So after this is done, set right here, we actually need to go to the setup tools, printing options, invoice setup, and we also need to set up the subtype. So for me right here, there's the R. The description right here is recurring rental. So once it has been set, we can now proceed and create the invoice. So like, let's say we start with a work order. So let me just create one, and let me select a customer, and we'll add a rental item. So this will be the first, like the start of the invoice. So from here, invoice setup, we will then set the subtype. We'll select the recurring rental, and there we go. And then we'll add the item. So any rental item, so we'll select any rental item right here. Okay, so for renew rentals, it will actually follow the rental times, the start date and the end date. So when you use the renew rentals, that means that all the items from the invoice should have the same rental out and then rental in, or like the start date and then the end date. So for this one right here, so we need to select a serial number. So like let's say for example, if the rental items are serialized, so first is you can just set or select the serial numbers, and then you can then set the date and the start time and date and end time and date under the rental times. Because what happened is when you set it from here, it will not update the rental times tab. So this is like per line only. If you set the out, if you will set the date and time from here for each line, it will only update that one line. So if you have a lot of items right here, you just go to rental times and then you can set. So let's say for example, let's start with, let's say this is for 30 days. So 614. Okay, and then we'll set it to out. It's now out. So we'll then exit. And to run the renew rentals report, we just need to click on rentals, renew rentals. And from here, you can set, you have the customer filter. You can set it for all customers. So if you wanted a specific customer, you just need to search for it. And then from here, you'll then specify the start date and then the end date. So let's say 5. And there are three options right here. So we have the first one is renew from date. So this is basically the date after the end date period that you have set right here. So the end date is June 16. So the renew from date start is 6/17. So what it does is when you renew, this will be the new start date of the next invoice. Renew from end period. So this means that the new start date of the renewed invoice will be the end date that you have set right here. And this one, renew every 30 days or every number of days. So you can specify the number of days. So like let's say for example, the number of days you wish to renew the invoice is 30 days. So this right here, it will be the start date. Well, it will be renewed 30 days, but the start date will depend on the end date from the actual invoice. So this one right here, this is just the range. And for example, as what we have, I think it's 615. So let's just take a look at that afterwards. So let's use this renew every 30 days. And from here, we do have options, renew invoice options. So you do have two options, work order and accounts receivable. So these are the type of invoice that you wanted for the next the open renewal or like open rental. So you have the option to have it as a work order or accounts receivable. However, you can only use accounts receivable if you have set the option under rental settings. Rentals remain out on A type invoices. So for now, let's just have it as a work order. Like we have our open rental as a work order. And you have options right here if you wish to display the details on the report. This will show all the items inside the invoice. And the other option is append dash number. So this is for the invoice numbers. If you wish to have the new invoice to have like -1, -2, then we will select the append dash number. And if you wish to keep the original invoice clerk, and let's say for example, the person who do the renewal is a different sales clerk, and if you wish to keep the original clerk, then you can check this option. So once you're done with the setup from here, you just need to click on view. So this is the result. So this is one of the This is the one that they have created. So the start date is 5/15, the end date is 6/14. So these are the details, so the inside, what's inside on the invoice. So if you will, what we need to do right here is right now it's currently X. So if you wish to renew this invoice, just click on the renew. So you have the green check mark. And once, if you have a lot of invoices you wish to renew, you can just check all of them and click on renew. All right, and it will show you the original invoice and then the new invoice, which has an invoice number of 1008-01. And as you can see, the new start is 6/14, which is actually the end date of the previous invoice. And then since it's 30 days, it ended 7/14. So if you wish to take a look at the new invoice, you just double click on the invoice number and it will open the work order. There you go. And okay, and it's the same process. If you wish to, like, let's say it's next month, then it's the same process. So for this one, let's say for example, on the next month we have 6 and this one is 7. It will then show, and then you have the option to renew the invoice again. All right, so next up would be after the renew rentals, we have the rental state and checklist. So the rental state and checklist feature enables the functionality of having the rental units automatically move to an available state upon rental return, preventing them from being rented out again until they are moved back to the available state by a user. So this is only available for rental units. So this option is not available for a normal serialized item or like normal rental inventory item. So this feature could be useful in situations wherein a rental unit must be inspected before renting it again, like for damage, safety check, etc. Requires cleaning before it can be rented again, must be serviced before renting again, or a combination of the above. So to enable the checklist, to use it, we just need to go to the setup wizard again, rental settings and checklist. So from here, you have the rental settings checklist, and then we need to check the box next to use the rental checklist. And from here we can specify the name of the unavailable state. Like if you don't want it to be showing as unavailable, so we need to type in what should be the name, like cleaning, safety checked, or maintenance. And once you have the name, we can then proceed with adding the list and the list items. So we just need to click on this one right here, the plus button, and this right here will add the lists, just the name, list name, and then the items. So like let's say for example, we have maintenance and then we have cleaning. Once you have the name, you can then list the items. What's the checklist for that cleaning? So I'll just show you directly. So let's go back to our demo. So if you go back to the settings, it's under the setup tools, setup wizard, and then go back to rental settings and rentals, and then we have the rental settings checklist. So from here, from my end, I've already checked this option and I set the unavailable state name as maintenance, and I've created different names right here. So for example, I have the cleaning checklist, and the items that I have right here for the cleaning is like wipe down performed, visual inspection completed. So like let's say for example we add a new list. So you just need to click on the this one, new list, and you type in the name, let's say like tests. So once you have created the list name, you then have the option to create a list item for this. So You can add as many list item and list names as you want. So like, let's say test 1, and then we add 2, test 2. All right, so you can see different names. Okay, so once you are done with you then have the option to see the rental state. So like, let's say for example, let's create like a manual rental invoice, and then let's return it afterward, so that you can see that it will automatically go to the unavailable state, which is the maintenance. So let me just create an invoice, and then let's add a rental item, and then let's just automatically return it afterward. And this is only applicable for rental units. So make sure that the item that you're adding on the invoice is a unit, not a normal serialized item. So when we go to the inventory, it showed that it's a unit. So from here, if we go to the rental state, it will actually show right here if it's right now it's rented out, so we can't select this. So let's just select another one, which another one that we could rent. Okay, they're all rented out, so let's check for another one. Okay, let's just delete all of these ones and this one. So let's take a look at the status, and okay, there. Let me see. Let's just create a new, like just a test. It seems like it's all rented out. So let me just add a stock adjustment right here. Okay. All right, so we have available right now. So let's select this one. And okay, so out, set it to out. And then we will then return the unit. So if we go return, as you can see, once you return the unit, it'll automatically go to the unavailable state, which we actually named as maintenance. So if you will add this item again to the invoice, like let's see, add this item back to the invoice, so 100-11. So if you select this and you click on OK, and you set it to out, you will get this message, unable to check out because the item is currently maintenance. So the unit must be moved to available on the unit record before it can be checked out. So you get this message, you want to view the unit now. So click yes. When you click on yes, you'll be redirected to the unit. And under rentals, you can see all the checklists right here. So under the cleaning checklist, we have two, which is this wipe down, perform, visual inspection. So like, let's say you're done with all of these, so click yes. And then the next one, yes, check yes. And from here, this test 1 and test 2, which is the one that we have created, so click yes. And then we will get this message. So all checklist has been completed for the maintenance stage. Do you want to change this unit to available? So you click yes. So it shouldn't be available. So if we click on OK, and if we go about right here, it is now showing as available. So, and like let's say for example, you don't want to check the checklist, and you wanted to know if there's a way to like bypass the checklist and be able to select the available option or set the unit to available after the maintenance state. You can actually do so. You just need to turn on the supervisor override. So like let's say we will set this out again. Just click on OK, and then return again. So this one will automatically change to under the maintenance. Um, so if not from the invoice side, if you go to the item inventory, it will also show. You'll also see the state of the unit. So let me just go back to the invoice so that we can check the item. So if we go to the inventory, it will show from the item inventory that it has one state, which is state unavailable one. So it says in here, when you hover on the state, it will say that rental items require checklist completion. So from the item inventory, you can click on units, and you can see that it has the rental stage maintenance, and then you have the option to edit. And once you edit, you click on the rentals tab, and then you can see right here the checklist. So let's say for example, you don't need to check on a checklist. You just wanted to manually set it to available without completing the checklist. You have the option to do so. You just need to turn on the supervisor override, and then you just need to set it to available. So like you can see right here, all checklists must be completed for maintenance before this unit can be moved to available. Do you want to force the unit to the specified state? If you wish to do so, then you can click on yes. And then it will then change that unit back to available. And also, one the other thing is it will only be possible if the user has the permission to edit the rental state of a unit. So it can be set under the setup wizard user security settings, name and password, and it's under the inventory. So the should be edits from here. So edit unit, and this one rental settings, edit inventory unit rental states and checklist. So the user should have this option for him or her to be able to um, edit or like change the rental unit state of the unit. And yeah, so that should be all from my discussion. But before we proceed with the question and answer, I just would like to inform you guys that we do have resources available, which includes the Help Center, which can be found at windwardsoftware.com/help. We also have the customer care portal, the Windward Learning Academy, which is academy.windwardoncloud.com. And if you do have we also have a Windward Professional Services if you wish to get a guidance for them for like in-depth discussion. So you can just contact your account manager for a quote or call at 1-800-663-5750. And for emergency support, you can go to windwardsoftware.com/emergency if your entire system is down and able to take payment. You cannot log in into System 5 or you're recovering from a power outage. And last one is we also have the webinar archives. So we have windwardsoftware.com/webinars, and you can sign up for future webinars from this, and you can also view previously recorded events. And okay, that should be it for my um, discussion. Do you have any questions?
Awesome. Thanks so much, Annabelle. We have a question from Leah. She would like to know if you can review how to properly do a rental return.
Like review, like go back, or what do you mean? Like show how to.
Yep, just
return the item?
yeah, a rental
Ah,
return.
okay. Oh, okay. So, let's just go back. Return, like you mean like if it's out and then you wanted to return the item, because usually you just need to click on return, or if you use the rental times tab, you just return the items. Is that what you mean? Or
Yeah, I believe so.
okay, all right. Because there are some users though that they don't have like permission to edit invoices. So when they open the invoice, you have like these three options: um, view, and then rental returns, and then cancel. So when they do rental return, you just need to set change the status. Like you can either do it from here, all return at, if you select this option, whatever is the date and time, that will be the return date and time. All returned now, it will be based on the current date and time. So usually though, if all the items from your invoice have like different rental, like they have different dates out, and then you just need to manually click on returned or returned now. So that will be how to do the rental return.
Okay, great. Leah, does that answer your question? We'll move on to the next one. Oh, yeah. Thanks, Leah. I appreciate it. The next question is from Adam. His question is, we have a storage business. We rent spots for a vehicle to park. Can a renewal be set for a custom amount of time? For example, customer A needs the rental for 6 months and customer B needs the rental for 3 months. Do we then need to complete these invoices from a work order to a sale?
Yes, you actually have the option though. Like, you can actually set it for each customer. You can like set like a specific template. It's like recurring, right? So, you have the option to set, like, let's say this is for customer A. When you add the items right here, you can set those the date, um the date, the start date, and then the end date. Like, it depends on how many months it is. And then you just need to count like how many number of days, because you have the option to select, like when you renew it, there is an option right here, to renew every like number of days, and then it will then renew based on the like the end date. So we just need to basically just need to create, first is like the first one is like a template for each of your customer. Like let's say they have different like renew date. So yeah, so you just need to do that, but you just need to specify it for per customer, because you have different 30 days. One customer is 30 days, the other is another days, right? So you just need to do it per customer though. They just need to renew it per customer.
Okay, great. We have time for one more question if anyone else has something they'd like to ask. While we wait for another question to come in, I'll just remind you guys, if you would like to review this webinar again or check out any of the webinars from our archives, go to www.windwardsoftware.com/webinars. They're all there. So if there's anything you missed or you want to review, take a look there. And we've got a follow-up question from Adam.
Hmm.
Okay, and then the work order is
Okay.
completed, or do we need to complete that invoice manually?
Actually though, it will automatically change to accounts receivable, like the original like invoice, the original work order. Once you renew it, the original invoice or work order will be changed to accounts receivable, and then the open renewal will be a work order.
Okay, great. So we'll finish it up there. Our next webinar is June 30th. We'll be discussing the promotions function in with Windward System 5. Definitely a good one. Everyone needs to have all the information for promotion. So we'll see you then June 30th, 1 o'clock Pacific time. Thank you, Annabelle, for your presentation today. It was awesome. And we will see you guys in 2 weeks. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks everyone. Bye everyone.